Could this be the end of Google search? You've probably spent your entire life relying on Google, but with the new developments in the field of AI, we may be witnessing the end of an era. Keep watching for a breakdown of how Bing is destroying Google in the ChatGPT versus Bard face-off. It all started in November 2022 when OpenAI launched the revolutionary chatbot called ChatGPT. In just 5 days after its release, 1 million users had already signed up for the AI tool. In 2 months, that number had gone up to 100 million active users per month. According to the Union Bank of Switzerland, this made ChatGPT the fastest growing consumer application in history. The major reason for all the buzz around the chatbot was that it revolutionized the way users communicated with the internet. For the first time, people could ask AI questions and get human-like responses. It didn't take too long before people started asking the obvious question: could ChatGPT become the world's new favorite search engine? The chatbot clearly had some major advantages over traditional search engines like Google. For one, users didn't have to click through hundreds of links to get what they were looking for. It was a big win that ChatGPT could put together a smart and well-thought-out answer in one place. For users, this meant they could get all they needed in one place. Another major advantage was that ChatGPT could do a lot more than just search for things. It could also create, advise, and solve real problems. So, not only could users ask for the most popular romance genre, but they could also ask it to write them an outline. Not only could users ask for the best coding language, but they could also ask it to fix errors in their code. As a result, ChatGPT immediately began to build a solid and resilient fanbase. However, the chatbot still had one major drawback. It can, sometimes, give inaccurate information. Users quickly noticed that the chatbot would sometimes give outdated or outright wrong information, and would do so confidently. What made matters worse was that ChatGPT doesn't cite any sources. This means that users who don't have any technical knowledge or experience could easily take those wrong answers as correct. Users couldn't fully trust a chatbot that gave incorrect answers and didn't provide any references to cross-check. With this tragic and significant flaw, it appeared ChatGPT was a long way from dethroning Google. Or so we thought. In the meantime, Microsoft saw how much OpenAI could help them. The tech giant made its first move as early as 2016 toward a partnership with them. In 2019, Microsoft consolidated the partnership with a huge $1 billion investment. The investment was to help fast-track OpenAI's efforts in building artificial general intelligence. Microsoft increased this investment by a factor of 2 in 2021 and again in 2023, making it clear that they are committed to OpenAI. While they were stingy with the details, Semaphore reported that Microsoft invested a staggering $10 billion in OpenAI. According to the report, the investment will see Microsoft take 75% of OpenAI's profits till they make their investment back. Subsequently, they'll maintain a 49% stake in the company. In return, OpenAI gets access to Microsoft's cloud supercomputing platform, called Azure. This allows OpenAI to develop its technologies much faster and also roll them out to businesses and individuals. OpenAI also gets the much-needed cash backing, as it hasn't gone so far in terms of monetization. Both parties have already started to benefit from this partnership, as Microsoft has made its OpenAI services widely available to businesses. This includes DALL-E 2 and ChatGPT. But the real shocker isn't Microsoft's enterprise-facing software. What really has Google on edge is the fact that Microsoft has decided to focus on retail consumers. And to do that, they want to become the world's leading search engine. Enjoying this video so far? Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Performance AI to always get the most out of your tech. For as long as most of us can remember, Google has been the world's #1 search engine. But Microsoft has its eye on the prize and has been working overtime behind the scenes. The tech giant noticed that about 5 billion search requests from across the world go unanswered. Similarly, they discovered that most search requests used 3 keywords or less, and about 40% ended with the user clicking back. The conclusion was clear. Traditional search engines were leaving a lot of users behind. It was time for a new system that better served users, utilizing our newfound understanding of the capabilities of AI. On the 7th of February, Microsoft announced the launch of a new AI-powered Bing. This new search engine is currently only available for preview, but it's already making waves. Microsoft wants to make a new product that takes the best parts of ChatGPT and traditional search engines and gets rid of their worst parts. Users can make sample queries on the live desktop version and sign up for the waitlist. What makes Bing groundbreaking is that it combines the search and chat functions into one. According to Microsoft, the search engine uses GPT 3.5 to create a chatbot that's more powerful and effective than ChatGPT. The results are simply mind-blowing. The new Bing welcomes users with a simple "Ask me anything" message. Users can type their requests into the text box and get results. However, the new AI-powered search engine allows users to ask questions in a human-like manner instead of worrying about keywords. Then, Bing shows traditional search results on the left and a more detailed chatbot answer on the right. The references in the chatbot answers on the right show where the information came from. This eliminates the worry that your AI is providing you with incorrect information. While Microsoft has admitted that the responses won't always be accurate, the citations now allow users to confirm it themselves. This makes it possible for users to get complete answers to complicated questions without having to look at too many links. More importantly, the new Bing maintains admirable flexibility in its services. Users who are still uncomfortable with AI responses can switch to the search function and use a traditional search engine. But even this old-fashioned search engine uses GPT 3.5 to give users more useful results. Microsoft has termed this the Prometheus model and promises high-quality performance. With these rollouts, it's not so hard to see how Microsoft is putting Google on its toes. True to its name as an AI-powered search engine, the new Bing also has other uses beyond searching. The new search engine can also help people come up with content for a variety of different reasons. For example, Bing can help you draft an email or a text message. It can also help you prepare a grocery list or meal plan. This could be the start of a slow shift away from search engines and toward virtual assistants. Users will prefer search engines that don't just display results, but also explain concepts, rewrite code, and give ideas. Because why settle for less when you can do more? This brings us to Google's Bard, which is the tech giant's attempt at a response to Microsoft's ChatGPT and Bing hybrid. Several sources have said that Google has put Bard at the top of its list of priorities and put out a code red about replacing ChatGPT. Bard is a chatbot that's based on Google's language model for dialogue applications, or LaMDA. Bard is expected to be able to do everything that ChatGPT can do, but a little better. For example, Google's new chatbot can provide details about current information, while ChatGPT's knowledge is limited to 2021. While Google has released Bard to trusted testers, it plans to release it to regular users in the coming weeks. Bard, which will be based on a light version of LaMDA, will also be incorporated into Google's search engine. According to Google, the upgraded search engine will look similar to what we're already used to. When users type their query into the search bar, Bard will give a human-like response. Then, this will be followed by suggestions for follow-up questions the user may have. Following that, traditional search results would appear. This is similar to Bing's interface, but we'd have to wait for the public release to see exactly what Bard can do. We expect Bing to also be able to help users generate content and rewrite code. On why they're taking things slow, Google's AI chief Jeff Dean has said it's about protecting Google's reputation. According to him, Bard giving inaccurate responses will have much more severe consequences than ChatGPT doing the same thing. This is because people already trust Google as a good source of information. In light of recent events, Jeff Dean couldn't have been more correct. Google just held a news conference 2 days ago to show off Bard's skills, but the results weren't great. One user asked about any new discoveries the James Webb Space Telescope had made. Bard replied with a photo that it credited to be from the James Webb Space Telescope. However, the picture had been taken by another telescope almost 2 decades ago. That embarrassing performance caused the Alphabet stock to plummet by about $146 billion, which is 7.7% of its total share value. This shows that Google truly has more to gain by taking things one step at a time. Many experts have already opined that Bard's disappointing performance was due to Google rushing to keep up. At the end of the day, we don't know how this competition between Bing and Google will continue to unfold. But what we do know is that Bing's AI-powered search engine is here, and Bing has seen its largest jump in relevance in the last 2 decades. So, it may soon be time to say goodbye to a long-standing household name. There you have it. Will you be jumping on the Bing train, or are you forever loyal to Google? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Performance AI to always get the most out of your tech. And for a little added excitement, click that video on the screen now to see what YouTube's AI thinks you should watch next. See you next time.